Well, hello.
I feel like saying, bring the beat in.
Alexa, play our theme music. Okay, Alexa, don't play our theme music.
Oh.
Alexa, volume 7.
If you're looking for some coaching for your business, are you a leader and you want coaching? Are you in a marriage and you need some leadership? Don't look any further. You have just stumbled onto or logged into the right page just for you. What you need? Alexa, stop.
You're going to get that shrinking filter on yours because I'm looking wide.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Hey, strong word. Strong
word.
It is a strong word, okay?
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of the Strong Marriage Live podcast. We're here live with you today.
Where are we?
We are in Calabasas, California.
No. Strong Marriage Live.
Strong Marriage Live. Hey.
Podcast. Yes.
What's up?
I'm sorry, I'm using my phone over here. Hi. Hello.
We're all on
everywhere.
Yes, we're everywhere. So bear with us as we get our arrangements together. Anyway,
peekaboo down here. Anyway,
we are excited to be with you today. We have some great content for today, stuff that's going to help you. And honey, tell them. Oh, first of all, if you're new to our channel on YouTube, or if you're new in the Strong Marriage private group, I am Coach Tenisha, and this is
Coach Chris.
And we are the dynamic duo
Bum.
who is here to help you. Oh, I love it. In case you didn't know, we love all things Marvel, comic book collecting, coins, all kinds of
yes, I love my coins.
Little
collectibles. We love collectibles.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
And we also love being with each other.
Marriage 31 years.
31 years this month.
Not all blissful. The first 2 years were very hard. No, it's true.
Yes.
That growing together, that first 2 years was a hard thing to do.
Very hard.
And a lot of tools that we had to come up with in order to be able to make it. Because you just don't know where to give up yourself to become the next person. So just like in the Bible, when you had Adam and Eve in the Bible, they didn't get their name until after they fell. Because before, there was just man and woman, and it was just one.
Yeah,
man.
It was just the Adam.
Yeah, that was it. It was just one. They were one person.
Right.
They fell, and all of a sudden, they became two.
Adam
and Eve. So we worked together to show you different ways to bring that one person back.
Yes.
So that we can be one again.
And why do we do that? Because it's
marriage was hell those first 2 years. It really was. Marriage was. Yeah. Our relationship was hard the first 2 years. Yes. When we first got married, it was. Let's see. Well, let's start at the beginning before we go into the resolution and things. That we just tell the story of how you saw our marriage when we first got together. So it was a whirlwind romance.
It was.
I was a fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma.
Woo,
go Mob.
Let's go.
And she was
Zeta Phi Beta. Z Phi.
Is that the best you can do, Z Phi?
Yes, that's the best I can do for Z Phi. We're gonna edit that out.
I go Mob. Go Mob. Anyway, it was
yes.
So we met at a party a few times. A few times. Yeah, because I used to DJ and do different things. So
that's true.
You came to one of the parties that I had. Then one of our fraternity brothers was having a party,
The house party.
The house party.
Yes.
Back in the day, we used to have house parties.
With the blue drink.
With the blue drink.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the
old Louisville.
Oh my goodness, the early 90s. Was it 90s?
Yeah, it was 90s.
Yeah,
it was 1993 to be exact.
No, it was 93.
93.
Yes, 93. So we got together and it was you were stepping around the party with your sisters, as always. I was either DJing or I was drinking. And I was drinking a lot back then.
A lot.
And you were stepping and everything. I was like, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? Anyway.
He left out an important detail.
What was that detail?
Not only was he a DJ, that was his side hustle, but he was also a bodybuilder.
Yeah, football was done. I was done with football.
Yeah, so
I graduated in 91.
Mm-hmm. I did too, from high school.
Hey, I met her after high school. I did meet her after high school. It was a good time, though.
Yes.
So anyway, we met that one time and a few other times, but we really weren't like talking to each other. You know, I was in typical, hey, at everybody, and you were in that, I don't know you.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
You
so
we went to
My name's we went to Cookie's party.
Shout out to Cookie.
Don't know how we met up at that party, but we met up at the party, and I'm over here on the couch with my boy Jose, and we're sitting there.
Hi, Jose.
And we're just sitting there, and y'all were playing cards or something at the table. What were you playing? Spades? Y'all were playing Tonk? What were y'all playing?
I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Probably spades.
Yeah. So we're sitting over there, and I came over to the table. We won't talk about Pizza Boy. We'll leave that part.
Yes,
we'll leave Pizza Boy. Yeah, I'll talk about the dead too.
Oh, wow.
They can't answer.
Oh, wow.
Do you have somebody that's big full of the dead?
You know what?
No.
Stop.
No. You smell. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell a story. You bring up other things. So anyway, we came to the table. I'm sitting there. I know my friend over here next to me, Carolyn. Yes. Carolyn. So Carolyn's right there.
Shout out to Carolyn.
I was like, Carolyn. I was like, hey, you want to go out sometime? And
you said to the movies.
Want to go to the movies? I said to the movies. And then this young lady jumped in and said,
I want to go to the movies.
Why are you asking her? You should be asking me.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
But let's interject, back up, and so they can get context to why I said you should be asking me.
I still, after 31 years, do not have context.
Because at that house party we were talking about, shout out to Milton Sledge for that house party. He pursued me, showed interest. It was a little more than hey, it was a lot of haze. And a lot of me running around trying to get away from this guy. Because as I said, he was a bodybuilder. He was very large. I was 100 pounds, a little stick. So it was a little intimidating. Yes.
Okay, so let's go through this. So
then the next time we met.
I'm done. I can't say no more.
The next time we met was at a picnic, the Zeta Sigma picnic.
It was a Zeta.
We actually had a conversation.
I was cooking burgers at Chickasaw Park.
Yes.
In Louisville, I think all the Sigmas, Big Red, Jason Garvin, a lot of us were just actually I was the one doing the cooking.
You were cooking.
Yes, I was doing the cooking
and DJing.
And DJing at the party out there. We had a good time.
It was wonderful.
Yes, and we talked that day.
And we talked.
So how you doing, girl?
Yes.
Da da da.
Yes.
And then a few other times we had the conference, the Sigma Zeta conference up in Chicago. And I went to the conference up in Chicago.
Yes.
Me and some of my frat brothers drove up to Chicago, and there was a room that I think Milton had.
We hitched a ride. I don't know who had the room.
You hitched a ride with me. I hitched a ride back.
We hitched a ride back.
Yeah, because they had no money, so they were just hitching rides. Because girls in college are like, oh, can I stay with your plane? We got 12 people.
And
with
all
us.
the boys say yes.
Yes. So anyway, so we got to the party. Great time, Chicago. Shout out to Chicago Pizza. Love me some Chicago pizza.
Deep dish.
I think Red took us to some places right around. Well, took me and some Sigmas around some places over there. But let's see, we ended up staying in the same group, same room. Was about 12 people in that one room.
In the one room.
And then I wore my special shorts.
Ooh.
Back in the day.
Brother came out
my
in
travel
some
shorts.
training track shorts.
My training shorts that I didn't wear except for when it was time to travel.
Let me just say, the glutes were working.
Yes, they were working at that time.
One of my favorite parts of his body.
Yes, so they were working.
So I was like, oh, he gave me his number. I need to use that.
Fast forward, we leaving. Somebody doesn't tell me that they say, hey, I can drive home. So we all get in the car.
I was trying to be helpful.
So we're all in the car. I'm in the back seat. She's driving on the freeway.
Everybody's sleeping.
And all of a sudden I hear, whoa, and the car swerves and we almost hit the side rail. And Heather says, I can't believe you let her drive and she ain't got no license.
Shout out to Heather Haynes. Love you, sis.
You ain't got no license. But pull this car over.
No one asked if I had a driver's license.
Yeah, y'all knew she didn't have a driver's license. I haven't slept in a car ride with her since. And so we got the car. I drove the rest of the way. We ended up talking, went out on our dates, and we went to O'Charlie's because that was our spot. It was O'Charlie's and those biscuits and the rolls.
Yes.
And then, 3 months later, we got married.
Yep.
3 months later, we knew it was the right time, right place, right person. And then it began. That first year.
We didn't even make it the first year.
We did not make it the first year. We stayed with my sister in a room because I didn't have my apartment anymore. You had to move out of your house because you actually never lived on your own.
Well, I was living on my own.
Campus does not count on your own.
It does.
Campus does not count. So she never lived on her own except for in her mother's house. I had lived alone with my football brothers, Mike, who was a chef in Louisville. Look him up. Mike Smith, KSM, KSM Culinary. There was Fred. Yeah, Fred Jones was one of our roommates. But anyway, it was a great time. And, gave that up, got married, had a great time. But then we had to put two different lives together.
Yes.
Two different people who had not been with other people living with that close together.
Yes.
So we had arguments. We had disagreements.
Yes.
And of course, I didn't come home because I was out and I worked with my father in the construction company. So we were traveling back and forth to different sites.
And it was hot. If anyone has ever lived in Louisville, Kentucky.
After we left Valerie's house, we left and went down to Old Louisville. Not Old Louisville, but
the West End.
West End of Louisville, because we had a house.
Yeah. Which is where I said I never wanted to live when we were dating. It's like, where do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Well, I never want to live in West End of Louisville. Where'd you go?
West End of Louisville. 34th and Virginia. Right on the corner.
The area where the most murders happened in Louisville, Kentucky.
It was not. When you say area, you have to extend it out. But it was hot. There was no air conditioning in the house.
AC.
The house was still partially undone.
Yes.
But it was a big house, but it was partially undone.
Most of it was undone.
One time we got a bill for $800
for heat.
And
it was still cold.
And in 1995, 94, we got a heating bill for goodness gracious.
It was crazy.
$800.
$800.
And how much was I making back then? Oh, about $134 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had financial issues. We had trust issues.
Emotional issues
because, I didn't want to listen to what you had to say.
Yeah.
And then you were pregnant.
And I had a lot of hormones going on.
Oh my goodness! So it was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of issues going on that we just did not know how to communicate with each other.
No one taught us. No.
No
one told us anything about marriage, about having a family.
So when I got married, my father had divorced, mother had divorced by the time I was born. Because most fathers, I must say this, and it's going to be a generality. Most men back in the 70s they were Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. My father was a Rolling Stone.
My daddy was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, where he laid his head was his home.
Yeah.
So that is what
our fathers both had 7 kids and both had more than one wives.
Yeah. Yes.
So they were rolling the stones.
Rolling. Yes, and if other ones popped up about and they're 50, 60 years old, I would not be surprised.
Wow.
I would not be surprised. But anyway, yeah, that was a hard time. We went through a lot during that time. But we were able to work it out. We did split up towards the.
It was before the first anniversary.
First anniversary. Before then, we had broke up and were separate.
Yes.
And you ended up getting your own apartment. And of course, I stayed at the house because, it was free. I didn't pay nothing. But it was hard. The kids were separated. Chris was born.
He was one kid
by that time. So it's gone past a year now. So little Chris was born, but we had to split time.
Yeah.
So you had your lawyer, I had my lawyer. My lawyer was poop, and the court system for the men is poop. So we had that, and
I didn't see it that way. I felt like your lawyer was a shark, and I was like telling my lawyer, "Get on the ball."
Man, my lawyer was a poopy poop. And I paid a lot of money for him. And he could not get me 50-50 visitation where I had him 50% of the time. And he was paying money.
It's because of your schedule.
It doesn't make a difference. I think it should be 50-50. Anyway, we separated. You had Chris most of the time. I had me most of the time. But neither one of us was happy.
No.
And we got to the very end. It was that day before we were supposed to go in to sign the paperwork at the lawyer's office. And I called you up and said, "Hey, let's see if we can work this out." And that's how we started our journey.
Actually, if you back up a little bit, what prompted you to say, "Let's work this out"? And then I'll tell you what prompted me to say, "Okay, let's work it out."
What prompted me? I was sitting talking to my mama one day, and my mama said, "Damn it, you never finish anything. You do this and you get all the way here and you don't finish. You do this, you get all the way and you don't finish. Damn it, you need to finish something." And I was like, "Motherfucker, what?" So I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I don't. So I look back at every time, I was like, okay. Maybe I need to go ahead and just humble myself, listen to the person I'm with, and actually complete what I need to be completing, and just figure out some type of tools or things that we can have that we'll be able to communicate and I can listen and give as well as receive. So,
did y'all hear that? I don't know.
This is the first time she heard this. This is the first time she heard this.
I got a little excited.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. Come on.
Okay. I was just broken and hurt. And when you don't know how to express your hurt, it turns to anger. So I was very angry and I wasn't happy. And it was not something that I was used to feeling. I was always been a very happy person and enjoying life. And I knew I did not want a broken family. And I didn't want the back and forth. I'll pick him up this time. We pick him up over here. I didn't want that. I didn't want to be the baby mama. And then I don't know how the Lord worked it, but it was like, yeah, God. Yes, the same person who saved you can save this. He can fix it. You can't fix it, but he can fix it. And then I just began to start really reading the word again. So I was listening to him and focusing on, oh my goodness, look at this scripture. a wife is not supposed to leave her husband. I was like, oh my gosh, I have just disobeyed the Lord when I left my husband.
So we both were saved, but we both were two different denominations. And we both weren't as into the word as we should have been.
Right.
So lukewarm is what I would say we were.
Yeah.
And it's more the Luke than the warm.
Yeah.
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 But, God puts you in situations at certain times, and he allows it to happen so that you can grow in him. Mm-hmm. And the more you grow in him, the more he sets it up for you to be able to prosper and achieve.
Right. So I would not say that God caused that troubling time, but he allowed those troubles, knowing that we would draw strength from him.
Our decisions, our choices
were ours.
My choice is to go out to the club. My choice is to be the ambassador for the construction company and go to Texas and at a whole convention.
Tennessee?
Texas. So lived in Tennessee.
I didn't know that.
So lived in Tennessee. So I had an apartment in Tennessee, but we had the AHOA convention, Asian American Hotel Association, did commercial construction. We had that convention in Houston, Texas. So drove to Houston, Texas with my three Indian brothers, Kevin and his two brothers, Patels. So I drove them.
Shout out to the Patels.
So drove them to the convention in Texas and hosted the convention in Texas and got the convention girls that would do the showcase and show all the stuff in the hotel construction that we were doing to get our contracts. Yes, but anytime Kevin would come in town, I would take him to the club because Kevin was a very awkward young man.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I took him to the club with us, and I took the young, awkward Indian young man to the black club.
He fit right in.
Yeah, he loved that. He's like, oh, check out some booties.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Chris, talk to her. I want to talk to her.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so we had a fun time. But you know what?
I'm sure they did.
You know what that is not supposed to do? That does not build strong marriage.
No, it does not. It does not foster effective communication.
No, it did not.
None of the things we were doing were building a godly, strong marriage. None of those things we were doing were beneficial to us. It was all dysfunction. It was other stuff that we had seen, what we had experienced. It was very, very worldly.
Money wasn't together.
Money was not together.
First, we didn't have any money.
Yes.
Because it was Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
And at that time, I was doing football coaching at some of the schools, Male High School, PRP. So football coaching pays how much? $325 a year.
Yeah.
$325 a year.
So you might as well say zero.
Zero. Because I was just an assistant. Wasn't the main coach. Right. So Redmond, Coach Redmond, his father, Pappy Redmond. How do I feel about that these days? Anyway, so Pappy Redmond would give us some money out of his pocket if we need anything. So he'd break you off $100 or $20 or $50 if you need anything.
I can't see you in strong marriage.
Oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, he would break us off some change. But it was just like being in high school or whatever. Again, like you begging somebody for something that you're doing. So I had a teaching assistant job and doing that. But that didn't pay anything.
Right.
I was at Ellen Berry before, right before we got married, doing Yellow Page ads.
Oh, that was after.
Yellow Page ads.
Yeah. Remember that big old yellow book?
Anyway, so did that and then worked at UPS for extra money. Yeah. So I think the biggest check that we ever received was maybe $700. No. When did we get $700?
Oh, dang. Wow.
That was later on. That's with construction. But when we first got married on our own, it was like, I think the biggest one was like $235.
Wow. So yeah, needless to say, we had a lot of problems,
issues, a lot of money issues
that were
but that was Louisville
stacked on top of us.
Stacked on stack.
Yeah, stack on stack. So we weren't happy.
Yeah, more money when we got into construction. But then again, it was all what's it called when you get
traveling and expenses.
We would first started in Tennessee. I was driving down every day.
Yes.
So I would leave out at 5:00 in the morning to get to the site, which was Clarksville, Tennessee, which is where Austin Peay is. So I would drive from Louisville, Kentucky to Austin Peay every day with my father. And man, it was a drive. Yeah. But the one thing that I can say my father did, he would make me listen to the Bible on tape every single day. So every day driving down to Clarksville, Tennessee, I was listening to the Bible, listening to the Bible, listening to the Bible, the word. He would drive and he would play, and then I started driving so he could rest and sleep. And I was like, I'm going to change the state. I'm going to change the state. Nope. Change it. Nope. So during that time when we built the 2.5 hotels, I went through the Bible 4.5 times driving down. And then I said, I got to get my own apartment down here, so I ain't got to drive back no more.
Right.
So, but it was a very, those times. But even when you're making money, it's still not enough for your split apart. You're not managing it together.
Right. So we told you all of our business to say that.
And that ain't all of it. That is not all of it. That was a lot more.
That there were a lot of issues in the first years.
The first 2 years was
of our marriage, and the two things that got us out: Jesus and effective communication.
It was communication. We had to learn how to talk to each other, how to hear each other, and to put ourselves under someone who could
speak to us.
And that person we had to sit under was God.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a couple that we could send. We couldn't send to your parents.
Right. Nope.
No, they weren't ready yet. Couldn't send any of my parents. They weren't together. And we just didn't have anybody at that time.
Right. We didn't know anybody with a positive, loving, healthy marriage that we could go to and say, how do we work through this? Or could you mentor us? We didn't even know to look for that.
No.
At that time.
So we're telling you, number one thing you do is look for a mentor.
Yes.
Look for a mentor. If you need us to be your mentor, send us DM, send us questions, anything you need to answer, and we'll help you. We'll answer those questions for you, no matter what the question is. We cover a wide range.
Marriage is wide ranging with many seasons.
Yeah. So you have the things that you go through with marriage is
finances.
We go through personal health, which could knock a family out.
Yes,
especially if a child gets sick.
Or dies.
And injuries, wrecks.
Yeah, injuries. Injuries and accidents can set you back financially.
Especially if you don't have insurance.
Yes.
One of the things that
health insurance, life insurance, auto insurance.
Yeah, all those things that cost money.
House insurance.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Renter's insurance.
Things
you don't think about before you get married, all the things that you end up needing. So in those questions, hygiene questions.
Ooh, hygiene.
Hygiene for yourself, hygiene for your spouse, hygiene for your kids.
Yeah.
Man. Sex.
There's a lot. Sex.
Intimacy.
Oh man.
You have to know
sexual intimacy is something else.
You have to get a schedule that works for both of you.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that your body is not no longer your body.
Yes.
It's the other person's body.
Right.
But the other person,
and vice versa.
But that person has to understand and respect that it's your body.
Right.
You have to respect that.
Yeah.
What else we have that we work on? The questions, the big things. So all the messy parts is finance, it's communication, learn how to talk, the hygiene, health and wellness.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, the communication, of course.
And then keep through all of that, keeping the friendship.
Growing the friendship.
Yeah.
You're nowhere near where you were when we first got married, and I'm nowhere near where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I met you now the way you are then, we wouldn't be compatible. First of all, I'd be too old. and then vice versa, you'd be too old too. But who's this old age woman talking to?
Wow, see, stop.
No.
But those are the things that can make or break you.
Yeah.
So what we are inviting you to do is to send in your questions.
Yeah, send them in. We'll answer.
On Strong Marriage, you have access to us all the time. You are in the private group already. TikTok, go ahead and DM him your questions. And for all our YouTube viewers, put in the comments the questions you have. There's also going to be a link for you to join our private group where you have access to us. But we basically want to be kind of like the filler, the mentors that you need for a godly, strong marriage, in lieu of the ones that you are searching for that you can have access to. It's always good to have someone in your location where you can get on the phone or go have coffee with and sit and talk to that person.
So
until you get that, you can have us.
So what's one of the big things you need to have around you to make sure that your marriage grows strong?
Well, I definitely need to have a relationship, a strong one with the Lord, because I need him to be able to show me scriptures, to speak life into me, and for me to know his love for me, so that I can shower that love onto you.
Because it's that grace that he gives you, and that he loves you regardless of what you do. You just mirror that same thing.
Mirror that same love for you.
Give the energy he gives you. You give that same energy to
keep
me.
that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
I like that. And then just doing what we're doing with our viewers, learning these conflict reconciliation tools and strategies, so that we're able to, when we bump heads, say, I was being grumpy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, may not be immediate.
But continuous growth personally and in the marriage.
Now, what about your friends that you tell stuff to, or your group?
We're not telling stuff to.
Your group actually gets smaller.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be around people who's going to be the opposite of you or have different goals.
Right. My friends all have a healthy respect for marriage and are not going to be like, I'm going to choose your side, girl. It's me and you. No. What is right in my marriage?
Yes.
Or if you see me, I don't think, your husband would appreciate that, or that's not a marriage mentality. Someone who's going to arrest me and remind me, girl, it's you and Chris. So someone who definitely is going to be supportive and strong in their marriage like we're strong in our marriage.
Right. So if you have friends who aren't married, they're not going to have the same goals as you. And your goals are my goals, and my goals are your goals, because we have to line each other up,
right,
so that we can achieve the same thing. Because if two people are going for the exact same thing, you're so much stronger.
Oh yeah, the Bible says one can chase 1,000 and
two can chase
10,000. So, and then it also says two are better than one. If one falls down, he has someone to pick him up. So
that three-strand.
That 3-cord strand that cannot easily be broken. So you have to have people in your corner who are going to support your marriage, not just you, because it's not just you.
No, it's not just you. It's a partnership.
Yes.
And if you two work together, there's nothing that you two can't achieve.
Yes.
Because now you can battle the finances. Now you can better control your kids. You can control what things you do in your marriage to make your marriage better.
Yes.
But you have to work together to your same goals, which is another thing that we do work on, is developing some type of an action plan and some type of goal system for your marriage or for your relationship, because the goal of the relationship, of course, is to
see if you're compatible for marriage.
Right.
We're not just over here just dating to be dating.
No, we date with a goal.
Dating with the goal of marriage in mind.
So we'll release a course that you can take, how to find your true soulmate.
How to find your soulmate.
Because it's very important to know, how am I going to hook up with the right person for the right reason?
What's up, Theodis?
With the right goals. Because I can't go out there and just go willy-nilly with people who aren't of who aren't my same yoke or my same group.
Yes,
so yoke yoke, for all those who don't remember the Oregon Trail, but a yoke goes on top of a let's say an oxen. An oxen on top of a bull.
Yes.
Yes. So you take the yoke and you put one on one side of the bull, and another part goes on the other side of the bull, and it links them both up together.
Yeah. So it's two bulls, and then there's a long thing around the neck hooking both of them together, and they pull the plow.
But if one bull is stronger than the other bull, it's going to go to that direction.
Right.
So if the man is too strong for the marriage and doesn't listen to the woman in the marriage,
the woman shall rebel and leave.
So she's going to be pulling this way, and he's going to be pulling her this way, but it's going to take longer to get there. Or vice versa, if the woman is pulling this way and the man is going, it's going to pull the marriage the wrong way.
It's not going to be beneficial.
It's not going to be beneficial. And when you're unevenly yoked, that means the strength of each one is not together. That means you have different beliefs, different faiths, different values, and you have to work all that out before you get married. You
want two whole people joining together to be a force to reckon with. But when you have two broken people like we were, broken in different ways, broken in certain areas, and then us getting together broken, not realizing that we were broken in areas, was a hot mess.
It was.
It was a hot mess.
Yeah, and it took time to understand what it was to work it out.
Yes.
How to get that communication together, how to write out some type of blueprint that we could follow, that we could understand what conflict resolution was.
And guess what, y'all?
We have it available.
He wrote it down.
I did.
We have the blueprint available to help you to, first of all, recognize where are you broken? Where are your issues? And then two, what you do about it. Some tools that's going to help you to get that reconciliation that you need.
Yeah, I think Fiolis was at the conference last week, so he has a copy of the resolution I sent to his email. But it's one of those things that, and Fiolis, for anybody, is a very wise young man out of Louisville, Kentucky. I use young figuratively, but he's been married to his wife, I want to say, if we're 31. I think Fiolis has been married 27, 28 years.
Fiolis, type in the comments how long you and the beautiful Augusta have been married.
Yeah, because
hey, Saria, his daughter is now in the group.
Yeah, so so he got the conflict resolution blueprint of how to do it and everything. But it's one of those things where he got yoked to the right person.
Yes.
And they were able to lead and have a beautiful family. You can tell a true family by the fruit that it develops.
Yes, as I mentioned, his daughter is now in our private group. She's also receiving that information, and it's so wonderful for singles to learn this now so that you are a whole individual when God brings you to your mate.
Yes. So we'll run through this real quick.
Really quick.
Technically, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
So the conflict resolution, our goal, main plea for the blueprint is to what?
It's to change how you handle conflicts, to get your mind aware that conflicts is not bad. It's an opportunity for you to grow. And the expectations are, as you go through the steps of the blueprint, it's important to be patient, to keep an open mind, and to always show respect to each other. Yeah. So that is built in to these strategies and tips for you to have an open mind, and not open like in you letting everything in, but open to what the word of God is saying, open to being vulnerable with your partner so that you two can get on the same page.
So remember, with this toolkit, the toolkit is written in basic language. Basic language. So it's very easy to understand. The principles are there. It's what got us through our mess and unmessed it.
Yes.
But it's the tools that you need. But these tools are basic principles that are in the Bible, basic principles, but the Bible is not mentioned in this tool here per se. Just the principles are God is marriage. That toolkit, which is coming out, it is listed in there, and how God is in all marriage. So it ties everything together. So each one of the sections ties together, but it's a huge toolkit once it is all finished. It is eight books.
8 books.
Each book has 8 different chapters, and each one is about 150 to 200 pages of just straight toolkits and knowledge that will, if you follow this toolkit, there's no reason why you and your partner cannot achieve a strong marriage or a strong relationship or whatever you're achieving together, you will be successful without a doubt. There's nothing that can hold you back.
Right. If I find that when I'm talking to individuals that are having difficulties in their relationship, you may think you're arguing about finances or other issues, but it's really all down to communication. Do you feel heard? Are you hearing your partner? Are you feeling valued and accepted? And can you speak and share your heart without judgment and rejection? And so getting to those issues and to the heart of that is going to help you in every area. Every area. So what can we expect from this blueprint?
So identify the root cause.
Yes.
So you'll have to know what the root cause is. So a lot of this is based on work, business, leadership skills in business and how you lead in business, because leadership is marriage.
Yes.
Everything that happens at work and business is the same thing that should happen in your marriage. And because business is just a basic blueprint of how God set everything up.
Right.
So if God set it up in the Bible like this, business took it, made it a shadow of that. Your marriage should be a shadow of that also.
Yeah.
So you're going to identify root causes. You're going to communicate openly.
Yes.
You're going to practice empathy.
Very important.
What is empathy?
Empathy is, I love your example. Empathy is like you see someone, your partner has fallen into this deep hole and they can't get out. Empathy is you getting down there in the hole with them with
empathy,
a ladder. Yes. Sympathy, on the other hand, is just saying, oh my goodness, you fell down a hole. That is awful. And walking on. Yeah. But empathy, I got down in the hole with you. And I also have a ladder because I put myself in your shoes, but I'm also going to help you out.
Ooh, that's good. Number 4, stay calm and respectful.
Yes. Whenever you are faced with conflict, you have to remain calm so that you are clear on what you need to do. And at all times, you must be respectful.
Seek a compromise.
Yes, compromise is key. It is the foundation. If you can't come to a compromise, there will be no reconciliation.
Take a break if needed.
If you need a break, and sometimes you will, because things can get heated and you can get hot and bothered in a bad way. It's okay to have a safe phrase. I'm going to get us some water. I need to get clarity. Whatever you need to say in order to let your partner know that I'm taking a break, not from you, but so that I can get myself under control so that we can continue to get reconciliation.
Because we don't want to say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yes.
Because we need to figure out how we can do our talk.
Right.
And finish and come with not a resolution.
Reconciliation. We need to reconcile. As Christians, believers in Jesus Christ, we are called to the ministry of reconciliation. There may not always be a resolution to your situation. And you're like, what? No, we are not God. We can't solve everything, but we can reconcile.
That's right.
We can move forward together.
And if you can't solve it, you come up with the last part, which is revisit the issue.
Revisit the issue. So you should have a time where you are reviewing your relationship, whether you call it the complaint counter or the feedback loop or whatever it is. But you have to revisit issues so that when a heated conversation comes up, you're not throwing stuff from the past there. Right. You want to get to your scheduled relationship checkup to revisit issues that could still be issues or something you want to modify.
Right. So what we're saying is God set up a plan of how you're supposed to do things, how you're supposed to respond, how you're supposed to answer. Business set up that same plan because they knew if you're doing a business, you're going to have to do it through God. So they set up these same rules. Man came along and changed those rules. So that's why you have some places that are bad, that are not set up correctly, that are selfishly set up because the person in charge of it
is selfish.
Put themselves in charge, not God, but kept the same plan.
Right.
So now marriages should be set up the exact same way, where you have those annual meetings, those monthly meetings. You should be talking to your wife the same way. You should have a vacation.
Yes.
where you're going to a workshop to work on your marriage.
Mm-hmm. You should do a marriage retreat.
You should do a marriage retreat.
We know one that's coming up in October. If you'd like to get some information, drop a comment.
And then we'll have a big one next year, but we'll talk about more like that.
We'll talk about that.
But we'll talk about that. But the important thing is have yourself a mentor,
yes,
a coach to walk you through this. Either a married coach, a married mentor you're going to follow, or you're going to have to go ahead and get yourself for your business, get yourself a union steward. Because I need a union steward to come back and be my advocate about what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll be your union steward. We'll be your marriage coaches. Like I said, DM us, give us some questions. We will come back every Saturday, except for the one coming up. We'll have
not next Saturday. You can see us live and in person if you're in Long Beach. We'll be at the Grand Hotel from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, September 14th.
Yep.
Signing our books. Yes, we have books.
Yes.
So come and join us, see us live and in person in Long Beach. Now we've got to go. We apologize for keeping you guys over.
Next week is a webinar that'll be on in place of us. It'll still be us. It'll still be us. But a webinar will be on stan.store at Chris Zariah to get the conflict resolution workbook. Toolkit.
Yes.
Conflict resolution. So Chris Zariah.
We will put that in the comments for you.
Yes.
Theotis said we're headed to a marriage retreat in Hillsdale, Michigan next week, Thursday to Saturday.
And that's how you have to do
awesome.
it.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how you have to do it.
Yes.
You have to treat your marriage just like a business.
Yes.
So leadership.
You go to business conferences.
Marriage. You go to business conferences.
You go to marriage conference.
You have best practice that you're supposed to do for your business. You have to have best practice for your marriage or your relationship. You have to do those things, the same things that you do in business, you have to do for your marriage.
Yes.
So it's a different concept, but if you follow that, if you get yourself a mission goal, a mission statement,
a motto, mission statement,
a marriage motto. If you have that, there's nothing that they can do to stop you because you got the same goals. You work on the goals, you finish the goals, you achieve the goals.
You got it.
Who can stop you?
Nobody.
Who can stop you?
All right.
Who has it better than us? Nobody.
You really can have the marriage of your dreams. You just need the tools to build it.
Now take on the day. Coach Chris out.
Coach Tenisha, we'll see you later. Bye.
Next Saturday, guys.
Bye.
Next Saturday.